I'm up early for the dealers come out. Everybody is outside until the killers come out. You ain't eating, you just act full. I'm impactful. Dozen funerals in a month. I got that pull. I will give it to niggas in all rap forms. Ignatius out right now on all platforms.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen. You have reached the midday political report from your boy, Lamont Tyson. Let me give you my intro. I am the all-knowing, all-loving, all-feeling, all-seeing, all-powerful, just damn all everything, sexy as hell host. You have reached the politics of being black. This is the Politics of Being Black Studios. And let me tell you how things are going to go around here today. Thank you for everyone that's joining me at the noon hour. I will be doing these 3 to 4 times a week. Definitely on Monday, probably not on Tuesday, but Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, this will be happening. And the show is going to go like this. We've got a bunch of topics that are going on in politics today. As of this moment, I am on the East Coast time. We'll break those all down, let you know what they think. And then at the end, any person who super chats, I'll read your comment, and I'll even read a few who don't super chat, just trying to give the folks who super chat priority over what's going on. And let's go ahead and jump on into story number 1. Last week, ladies and gentlemen, the Supreme Court and all their non-infinite knowledge decided to gut the Voting Rights Act. And no sooner than that ink dries, folks, I mean, the ink has not dried on that just yet. We've already got one of the worst states in the union putting stuff together to shut out black voters. Now, let me just say this. When I say one of the worst states, you folks who are smart and intelligent, you know the 5 worst states for minorities, and typically the 5 worst states for all the people that live in the state. But because they're full of MAGA and full of haters, those people don't realize they're being screwed. Places where healthcare, education, quality of life, childcare are in the bottom. Did you guess what state I'm talking about? If you said Arkansas, Mississippi, Alabama, you would be right. The state of Alabama. Let's take a look at what their country asses is doing to continue to harm not only minorities, but everybody in their state.
Integrity was not an issue that my colleagues have been pushing until Donald Trump told them that they should be pushing this issue. Americans have confidence in elections. But see, for me, it's about too many people doing too many things too courageously for me to be able to stand here today. Names like James Reed and Jimmy Lee Jackson and Viola Liuzzo, Andrew Goodman, James Chaney, Michael Schwerner. These are people who died for me to be here today. Congressman John Lewis, who most of you served with, died for me to be here today. And this bill would make it tougher than it has ever been in American history to register to vote at a time where we have the technological ability to be able to verify election eligibility. But we don't want to do that. We want to make it tougher for people to actually get registered to vote. And that is not what we should be doing. We should be making it easier for people to vote.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, let's just break this down. Why is it that Republicans don't want to make it easier to vote? I'll tell you why. Because more and more people understand that Republicans have been lying to them. Republicans are the biggest provocateurs of hypocriticism. And that Republicans know that the majority of people would vote for their best interest, which does not include the best interests of AIPAC, the rich people that push down all this bull job, and the religious folks. For a state to be trying to single out black minorities as if they are the ones that are ruining the state is very rich, people. This is Alabama. This is a place that one time almost elected Roy Moore in a Senate election, a man who ran around on a damn horse, who had a little 6-shooter and was accused of messing around with young kids. He was a pedo. One of the criteria to be on Trump's administration. He was one of those. He still almost won that election, ladies and gentlemen. But to act as if fixing it so that black people don't have a voice is the problem in Alabama is a fallacy. So let's take a look at what's going on in Alabama right now. When is the last time Alabama has been run by Democrats? Never. When is the last time the majority of black people who vote Democrat have ruled in Alabama? Never. So what has that gotten Alabama with GOP policy? Let's take a look at this shit. You'll believe this. Alabama by the numbers. Nice and easy. Education. Bottom 5 in education overall. Bottom 5, ladies and gentlemen. under Republican policies, and they're trying to weed out more minorities. Low reading and math scores compared to other states. This is what Republicans want, ladies and gentlemen, because the lower your math and reading score, the less likely you are to critically think and push back on policy. Fewer resources per student, as in many districts. They don't want people to have resources, they don't want education. Lower percentage of adults with college degrees. Golly, you can't make this shit up, man. If the statistics are clear, the more educated you are, the more you vote Democrat, because you fully understand how socialism works. For some white people, they think socialism only works that corporations get to socialism, and if they were to accept socialism, it's going to hurt their contract with Jesus Christ, some stupid shit like that. Educated people understand that the social contract should be spread amongst people fairly and equitably. And over the Reagan years till now, that spread has been heavily leaned toward rich people and corporations. But I digress. Poverty and income, top 5 to 10% highest poverty in the United States. And minorities haven't been running that state. It's been all Republicans. Lower average household income, more Republican policy. Higher child poverty rate than the nation on average. So they the worst at feeding children, okay? Why would they want to feed children anyway, folks? This is the party that claims they love fetuses so fucking much that they are willing to die on the hill so that that fetus can be born. And then when the fetus is born in a red state, you just seen the data. They don't even want to feed the fucking fetus. It's not even a creature no more once it's born. But let me give you some more. That's not it, folks. There's more. There is more. Healthcare. Bottom 5. That's why everybody you see in Alabama got crooked fucking teeth. They're the bottom 5 in healthcare. Many rural hospitals have had to close because of Trump. Higher rates of infant mortality and maternal health issues. The party that claims they are about saving the baby has clear data that their maternal health is not working. Are they fixing it? Oh, no. The way they decide to fix it, make it harder for Black people to register to vote. Fewer doctors per person in the same areas. Okay, you got that. Now, here's life and important impact. You live in Alabama, your life expectancy compared to other states is lower. Fewer job opportunities. Poverty plus weak education equals a cycle of viciousness that you can't break. But for some reason, the ink is not dry on what the Supreme Court said. And the first thing you think you should be doing is making it harder to vote versus fixing these like 6 problems I just read off. You see the problem with Republicans, people? It's been a lie. It's been a facade. They're hypocrites. Hopefully y'all are starting to get this to come through. The church thing is just to control you. The fact that they claim they're better at financial matters has always been a lie. Where's trickle down? Alabama has been run by Republicans since before I was born. I was born in the 80s. And shit has not changed with them. Let me know what you guys think. That's pretty sad. It frustrates me. And we've got to do something. Democrats have got to come out and fix these issues. Moving right along, ladies and gentlemen, that's not the only thing that has been going on out here. That is not the only thing that has been going on out here. I'm going to get into something now that should scare everybody. You guys remember COVID, the coronavirus? Barack Obama had a policy in place to prevent such things from sneaking up on the United States. Guess who brought their Humpty Dumpty pumpkin ass in and got rid of it? And then we got COVID. Donald Trump. Well, folks, COVID was kind of the thing looming in the background like Thanos was looming in the MCU. While you was dealing with all these other bad guys up front, Thanos was just kind of in the background looming. Then as COVID came along and just kind of ground the United States to a halt and shut down the whole world. We've got another one of those grounding out there, another virus, folks, taking place on another cruise ship. And I'm sure Trump done got rid of policies in place. Look who he's got running Health and Human Services. He's got RFK, who Health and Human Services hasn't helped his ass find his voice. So why should we believe a damn thing that he's doing? He's a lawyer, not a fucking doctor. Take a look at what's going on out in the world, ladies and gentlemen. Maybe it won't be like COVID, but we've got to keep an eye on this. Take a look. Yo, thank God this thing is not spread through breathing, because did you see that 40% of people that get the shit die? On a cruise ship, this happened, ladies and gentlemen. I can guarantee you right now, they're saying it comes from rodents. This is not a bird virus. It comes from rodents. 3 people have died on that cruise ship. I don't know what cruise ship that was, but they might as well just go ahead and shut that shit down. You won't be taking another cruise no time soon, unless you're cruising in your bathtub. They about to sue the hell out of you, because the data is clearly saying you get this from rodents, urine and feces. So somewhere on your ship, you done had some rodents that decided to become Tom and Jerry and hang the fuck out down below, and was either messing around with food or doing something that got people exposed. Now they're dead. Unlike COVID, where it got spread through breathing, this doesn't get spread like that. But it is something we need to keep our eyes on, because the level of incompetence we have at leadership, folks, is scary. It is very scary. So post your comments if you've seen someone who's had the hand-on-hand hate virus, and you know, or if you've heard of this in the past. I would love to hear from you. Let's talk about some of y'all's favorite airlines, Spirit. One of the cheaper discounted airlines in America. Gone. Never to be seen again. They're closed, ladies and gentlemen. Spirit is gone. They did not get a bailout from the government. And quite frankly, ladies and gentlemen, I'm not for a bailout unless everybody gets a bailout, meaning corporations and people. We've lived through so many bailouts that corporations have gotten, as if human beings that live in this country don't need a bailout. And fuck all that shit Republicans be talking about, social safety net program. That's not a bailout. That's a helper. A bailout is when you've had money, you blew it, and now you need to replenish that shit. Most of us don't get that. And when somebody came along to try to let us at least get off on student loans, who decides to come in and mess that up? Trump. Well, Trump also decided he was not going to give Spirit a bailout. And I'll tell you why after you take a look at this.
If you have a Spirit Airlines ticket, don't go to the airport. Chances are that if you do today, you'll likely going to find a version of this. We're here at LaGuardia Terminal A, the Spirit hub in New York City, and the check-in monitors telling customers that Spirit has gone out of business. And perhaps most frustratingly, it also tells them customer service is no longer available. That means there were a handful of frustrated passengers early this morning who arrived here at the airport.
Your flight has been canceled, find an agent. So I was looking for an agent. They were like, there's no agent. There's no customer service.
People that were standing here just said, there's no flights.
The company failed to secure a $500 million federal bailout from the government. Let me show you the departure monitor here in New York City. All of these flights that were expected to go out have been canceled. Now, this is likely the end, at least for now, for the ultra-cheap discount model that Spirit Airlines dominated. After 34 years, the airline ceasing operations, 17,000 people are expected to be out of work.
Spirit has been hemorrhaging money for a long time. So as much as I want to dump on Trump, it's not just his fault. But the reason why they didn't get the money is because Trump threw a tantrum. Now, I'm not saying they should have got the money, because I'm not for corporations continuously getting bailouts if the American people can't get a bailout. The reason why Trump didn't get the money is because the CEO refused to lie about what has increased the debt load that this company have. You want to know what increased it, ladies and gentlemen? There are several of you who are intelligent watching this. You know what increased it. This fucking war with Iran and the Strait of Hormuz and the costs associated with transporting oil. CEO came out and said it. Trump tried to blame it on Biden. CEO said no. And CEO said, I will not be bullied into saying it's Biden's fault. And for that, petty ass Trump said, you won't get any of our money. Now, mind you, Trump done got in bed with Intel. Did y'all forget about that? Some of y'all are out there saying, well, it's a business decision. It's a business decision to get an Intel, but it's not a business decision to keep one of the cheaper airlines up and running for people who can't afford the prices that other companies are going to now say, we have the excuse to raise prices because our cheap competitor is gone. See, folks, this is what I mean when I say you're dealing with Republicans, the non-country club Republicans, who they can only take data in sound bites, make America great again, or lock her up, and don't do any further digging beyond that. They don't understand how this shit works. And what's about to happen now, if any of those toothless MFers get on airplanes, which I doubt, the price is going to go up because you've taken away one of the competitors. And again, I'm not saying that Trump should have gave them the money. The only way Trump should have gave them the money is if everybody else in America is going to start getting bailed out. And folks, why not? We're in a war that has already cost us $1 trillion. For what? It's costing us $1 trillion to enrich Trump and his family, hurt the American people, help Israel. Mind you, Israel country has free education, free health care. What do we have here? Nothing. And you couldn't bail out the airline that would keep prices kind of in check across the board. It's some bull jive because that man, the CEO, refused to lie. Now, again, I'm not with it, but at the end of the day, folks, we can't keep letting corporations get away with this whole capitalism and how capitalism sparks innovation and it keeps prices down if you're going to keep having the government meddle around in people's shit. Post your comments. Let me know what you think about that. We had chaos, ladies and gentlemen, just chaos happening over the weekend. I feel like every single day you wake up under a Trump administration is going to be chaos. Take a listen at my boy Aaron Parnaz. He puts out great work. I use his shorts all the time. Link is in the description. Please be sure to go follow this brother on IG. Listen to his report.
We have some major Iran news this morning. It's been a chaotic morning. Iranian state media has claimed that it struck a U.S. naval vessel in the Strait of Hormuz following Donald Trump's announcement of Project Freedom, which isn't a way for U.S. military to escort ships through the strait, but rather to, quote, guide ships through the strait. Now, U.S. Central Command has put out a statement saying what the Iranians are saying is false. No U.S. ship has been struck. Now, what's interesting is that the U.S. Central Command didn't say that no U.S. ship has been targeted. They used the word struck. Now, Project Freedom, according to Axios, is essentially a way Trump is fed up. He's fed up with the lack of movement right now regarding negotiations or lack thereof with Iran. And so now they're at a point where, quote, it's either they're looking at a contours of a deal or Trump is just going to bomb the hell out of Iran. That's where we're at. But it's a bit of a chaotic situation right now. U.S. command saying that 2 U.S. flagships have passed through the strait this morning. Like I said, lots happening. I'll have more updates for you soon. Spread the word. Follow for more.
We don't know what the hell is happening. And if we go by the history of what has been going on, Iran has been telling more truth, giving more accurate intelligence than America has been doing. If we want to be 100% about it, there's a reason they call Trump Taco Trump, because he'll say one thing, something else happened, then a deadline will come and he backs off of it because he didn't make the deadline in the first fucking place, people. It was just a lie. And I can believe Iran has decided, unless you come to the terms we want, you're not getting through this strait. Now, nobody technically owns the strait, but because of Iran's proximity of the strait, they've pretty much been able to tax people coming through it. They have. For me, the bigger picture is the humanitarian issues involved here. We are supporting Israel, who is committing genocide. They don't care. They just want America to help them blow Iran off the map. And Trump went into a baseless war to do that so that he can have legacy namesake to say, I went into a war, which that legacy namesake is going to be one of stupidity and dumb because it didn't help Americans. And at the end of the day, that war has caused prices to go up for Americans. That's one end how it messes us up. The second end it messes us up is that he spent all this money for this war, which billionaires and rich people get to say, well, since we spend all this money, we've got to inflate shit. But the average numbnuts Republican is 2-word salad, 3-word sentence, lack of understanding to get what's going on when you talk about these issues. They hear Hexef say everything's going well. We know it's not. They hear Trump say that Trump said the war was done like Friday. The shit is not done. This news came out today, May 4th, 2026, that now he's frustrated that nothing is getting done. And why should it? Y'all went and attacked these people for no reason. Barack Obama, just like he had for COVID, had a deal worked out. Yes, the black guy, folks, the black guy that y'all hated, the black guy that y'all tried to say was so far left, he was a coon behind a tree, when Barack Obama was a centrist. Now, he was debonair. He was a great orator. He had some progressiveness in him. But to say he was as far left as Trump was, that was just basically white people saying he's black and we don't like him. But he had a deal in place with Iran. And Trump tore the shit up because at night, Trump is tormented by the size of Barack Obama's penis. He is. He won't admit it, but he is. He's tormented by how many people love Barack Obama. And so for that, now that this war is going on, it's making his ass fucking frustrated. And now he's about to try to start doing stupid stuff. It was just last week they was trying to hide intelligence from Trump. And that intelligence probably was Iran saying, we ain't signing that shit you sent to us. What do we look like? And then every other week, Iran comes out with a mixtape as if they DJ Khaled. They come out with some kind of a AI video that just completely destroys the Trump administration. And I'm sure he's tired of being embarrassed. But let me tell you something, Trump. This is the world you're fucking with. And our allies, NATO, and a lot of others said you shouldn't do this, but you found the right goonie to go in there with you. You've got the right three stooges working in your administration that do anything you want them to do as if you're a homelander from the boys. And don't realize that if you go against one order that doesn't make you feel good when you go to bed and drink your milk at night, that you'll get rid of them. They don't realize that, and that's to their detriment. So y'all post your comments, let me know what you think about this war thing, how it's going to end, what is it going to do. Put the deal back in place Barack Obama had, Trump. Swallow your pride, and let's just get back to having peace in the Middle East. Last story we got for you, ladies and gentlemen. There is a GOP person running for office in California, folks. Now, a California Republican is nowhere near an Alabama Republican. Still a Republican nonetheless, but not like an Alabama Republican. And this story is making the news about this Republican because he put out an ad. This story comes to us from Benny Johnson. Link will be in description. Take a look at what's going on, and then we'll break it down.
Every good hero and villain has an origin story, and the hero of the Los Angeles mayor's race is Spencer Pratt, who is taking his righteous indignation against the leaders of California as his house was burned to cinders, his entire life destroyed. Even though he was a Hollywood celebrity, he's been left with absolutely nothing. Like so many people in Los Angeles, they've realized the city of angels is actually hell. And he's now running for mayor. He's putting his money where his mouth is and actually doing something about it. And there's deep respect for Spencer Pratt for doing this. And he just dropped a banger of an ad. It's done major views, 11 million views, 17,000 reposts, 112,000 likes. Spencer Pratt of the Hills really running for mayor and really making a dent. Listen to this ad.
This is where Mayor Bass lives. You notice something? Or here, where Nithya Raman's $3 million mansion sits. They don't have to live in the mess they've created where you live. This is where I live. They let my home burn down. I know what the consequences of failed leadership are. That's why I'm running for mayor. For my sons and the rest of us Angelinos that want to stop these corrupt politicians from destroying our city. We are going to get the golden age of Los Angeles back. This is where Mayor Bass lives. You notice something? Or
that's really strong ad. 30 seconds. Sharp, sharp, sharp. Wow. And getting tons of love. Tons of love. Everybody's saying it's one of the best ads that they've ever seen. Here we go.
Spencer Pratt, ladies and gentlemen, he was in a reality TV show back in the day, Rich Boy. I can remember I was in college, like it was like 2002. There was these shows called The Hills and a few others about the rich white girls and the white folks that lived in the community. Back in the day, in 2002, his ass was in shape. He ain't in shape no more. And what I have to say about him, the way he behaved back then, I haven't forgotten it. He behaved like Brett Kavanaugh back then, but he's an adult now. And I haven't followed him since I was dating women that would watch those type of reality shows. But to hear that his house got burned down, now he's living in a camper, it's hard for me to believe that, because I watched that show. I know his lineage. I know who he surrounded himself with. And to say that all politicians, the blanket statement he made about all politicians, I'm not with that either. You can never say all about anything. Some things can be a stereotype, but they're not all. And I do agree with him and the fact that there's such a homeless issue going on in a city like that. For as many good things that come out of big cities, they have yet to do anything about the homeless. And now, if they're not doing anything in a Democratic city like Los Angeles, and I just showed you the poverty numbers in Alabama, life expectancy numbers in Alabama, what do we really believe the GOP is going to do about homelessness? And I'm not saying homelessness is right. I'm condemning the Democrats. They should have been done something about it. If this man can win and become mayor and do something about homelessness, I'm for that. But time and time again, I've seen GOP policies that haven't even done what is going on in LA. And what homeless people need is not just homing they need. And I know a lot of people who believe in Jesus Christ, but voted for Trump and prayed to the hilt that something is going to happen, and it never does with these homeless people, and are afraid to deal with homeless people. Homeless individuals need not only to be rehomed, they need education, something the GOP don't want to pay for. They need mental health, another thing the GOP don't want to pay for. And oftentimes they need just regular things like an ID, something that the GOP definitely don't want to pay for, because an ID leads to folks fucking voting. So I didn't feel the magic that was supposed to come from that ad. I didn't feel none of it, because to me, it's just wash, rinse, repeat. It's just a celebrity who had his house burned down. Many of people have their house burned down, having to live in a lower economic situation right now. Many of people have that. But because he had the backing of celebrity, it is supposed to blow up. If that sounds crass, sorry. I want to see what is the plan he's going to do for the homelessness. And if that plan does not include education, mental health, rehoming, what are we talking about? That's what the money is going to have to include. And so, folks, let me know what you think. That is going to do it for this video. Don't forget to like the video, comment, subscribe. Let me see if I got any super chats before I get out of here. Do I have any super chats today? No super chats today, folks. If you want to get a comment in with me, please, 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 please super chat your boy. And for now, I'll read what I've got. Oh man, Wanda, I love that. She said, "May the 4th be with you." Love it. That is a great, great comment. May the 4th be with you. David, Danny Luck. It's manipulate the markets Monday. It feels that way, David. I did trade. In case you guys didn't know, I go live trading every single day on my channel, Win by Losing and Stop. Today, I traded Oracle, made about $230. Did it within about a span of an hour. Of course, I did prep and all that good stuff. So you don't just think that, oh man, you can make $250 in an hour. Ooh, no, I did some prepping to get to that point. And I would love for you guys to come and check me out over there. I go and do that every single day. Continue to push my YouTube political channel, because honestly, the markets tie right into the politics, and they're going to be marrying and merging with each other often on this channel. And until that,
somebody's bleach blonde, bad built butch body, somebody's bleach blonde, bad built butch body, somebody's bleach blonde, bad built butch body.